Ago echa mekanye me. Amen. Twa manyaba. Twa manyaba. Mashie me. Ni ma ajufo, na ma ajufo. Nka boncho chocho obi. Ogoga ba. Masachi na bo. Aye. Ubanye.
The Ga people belong to the Gadangba group of Kwa people who inhabits the Greater Accra region of present-day Ghana. The name Ga originated from a species of dark brown ants called Formica gargantuides, which meanders about in great swarms, invading houses, killing and devouring everything in its way. These marauding ants, known to the Akans as Nkran, was the name ascribed to the Ga-speaking tribes due to their prowess and bravery in warfare. This ethnic group of people found along the coast were organized into 6 independent towns, namely Mashie, Osu, La, Teshi, Nungwa, and Tema. As much as Mashie is the heartbeat of all the Ga traditional areas, there is no particular person who established it. The Gas are believed to be descendants of Levites, hence have a spiritual leader who follows the directives from the Creator himself. History tells us that during their migration from Egypt through Nigeria to present-day Accra, they moved together as a family and were led by a spiritual leader at that time who was the Naye Wulomo. The Gas are said to be spiritual people, not religious. Everything they do is practical and culture-oriented. Did you know that the Gas practice the patrilineal inheritance, hence fathers are the owners of their children? The naming patterns in Mashie is run by a system that does not differ but cuts across all 7 quarters, which are Sempe, Abola, Bese, Otublohum, Akangmaje, Asne, and Inglesialata. In Ghana, much like several other African countries, naming a child is one of the most important things in the life of a human being, as a child's name carries an identity which they have to live with for the rest of their lives. Like a thumbprint, everyone has one, but it is unique to each individual. A naming ceremony is one of the occasions that is highly revered among the Gas. Among the members of the Ga clans, children are born into their names. That is, before a child is born, it is known what name they will bear, irrespective of the day on which they are born. They are named in order of their birth. We take a journey to Mashie, better known by the locals as Old Accra, and the oldest settlement among the Gas, located in the Ododo-Diodio constituency of the Accra Metropolis District, to delve into the naming patterns of the people. How is naming done according to the Mashie clan?
We, the Gas, practice what we call the paternal inheritance. So if the patrilineal inheritance is what we practice, we have the fathers being the owners of the children. We don't just name our children, if I should say, anyhow.
Naming of children born in Mashie follows a pattern that is common to all Gans everywhere. What I mean is, Gans in Osu, La, Teshin, whatever, they follow a certain pattern where the names are not selected after birth. They are there. Before you are born, we know the name that will be given to you.
When you get to Bese, for instance, we have various clans, but they have common names.
In Bese, we have Okain, Okanja, Aite, Ajin. For the female, we have Dede, Kokoi, and Adaku.
You have Okanle, Okanko, Okanka as the first three female names. If you go to the boys, you have Ayi, Amma, and then Teko, which is another three of the boys. If they are to give birth, somebody give Ayi Kanle, Ayi Kanko, then Ayi Kanka, and then the other side will be Aite. That is the first born will be Aite, male born will be Aite.
If you take, for example, Asrin. For the male, the first three we have Abete, Abete, and Abekwe. Now, their sisters, or the female names, also follow a similar pattern where you have Abele, then Abeoko, and Abekai.
You have a Machewi in Asine, where you have Amele, Amoko, Amaka names. When you go to Dantu, this is Lantejanwi, for instance, the first female name, you have the Lamle, Lamyoko, and then Lamyakai. It is there. 3. The male, you have the Lante, Lante, the Lankain, which is also for the boys. When you change it to the other side, we have the Odate, Udate, that is for the boys, and then Udale, Udako, Udaka for the girls. When you come to Sempe, for instance,
we have Papo, Akwe, and Ado for the male, and then Aku, Adukwe, and Kali for the female.
Adole, Adoko, Adokali, first 3, Adute, Adute, and then Papo. Sometimes when you get to another side, Papo becomes the first male. In some areas, Papo becomes either the second or the third, depending on the gate from which they are coming. When you come to Otublon, for instance, Otublon, they have their Kwamu names. That is, they have the Amano for a firstborn male, and then Amano Bia for a first female name. We have Amanoa, and then we have Ufusua, and then we have Kumia. They are in order. Amanoa is first, Ufusua second, and then Kumia is third, and then it continues like that. And then with the name we have Ufe, they have Dodu, and then the Dodua as a female name, Dodu as a first male name. Do you understand? But with that of the Akwamus, they can change the names, they mix them. But their feminine names would go like Dodua as firstborn. And then you see the name called maybe Amanobia, it is there. You see it called Utinkrama, it's also from Dadibana. Utinkrama is the first daughter from Dadibana. And then Utinkran is the first son, also from Dadibana. So these are the names we have. When you look at Abola, for instance, Abola, we have different clans that forms Abola. and then they have their names. For instance, Tekotuluwe have their name. Amugiwe has their name. Takikomewe, they also have their name. And Abola Piami, they also have their name. These are the 4 major clans that forms Abola. So you have
Yate, Yaboy, and Yalai for the male. And then Yale, Yako, Yakai for the female.
When you go to Taki Komewe, you have the Taki, you have Kome, you have Mesa, Klebis, those names, they are also from there. But what happens is that most of the names from the royal houses are names of stools. So when it's being given to you, or you are named after that, they automatically add "ni" to it. Because it's not just a mere name, but it's a name of a particular stool. You can't just come and then call somebody Taki. Taki Tawiah was the government king. Taki Tawiah was there. So when you call somebody Taki, it's like you are not honoring the name. So we say Ni Taki. So our naming patterns are simple, but it cuts across board. When you go to English Yalata, they have lots of names. They have Aele, they have Ayoko, they have Ayeka, they have Amma, Ayi, Ato, Jama, they have Otokuno, they have Saki. You see, all these names are names in that is Jamestown. Now, Saki is from Adanse, which is another clan in Jamestown. They have Saki. And then Saki, whenever you see the name Saki or Akumia, is from Mashie, Adanse. And then their naming is quite different a bit. Maybe I might have Aele, Ayoko, Ayeka, the rest here. But when you go there, they can have Saki, they can have Ayoko mixed together. So that's why I told you from the beginning that they are a group of people from different areas that came together to form English Yalata. You go there, you see the name called Apia. They have Sampa. We have name like Namwa, Kwekuma. You understand? Kwekuma and the rest. It is all from English.
For the names for the various quarters or clans, there are similarities and also there are differences. Because if you have a name appearing in 2 clans, then it means the name in this clan is similar to the name in this other clan.
For instance, as I mentioned Ameli, and then Amate, Ama, and the rest. When you go to Sugwa, they are there. You go to La, you see the Lai, Sai, Togbo, Uboshi, Adai. These names are all names here. When you come here, they have the names here. When you go there, you see it there. You understand? It cuts across to the other, all the places. When you go to Nungwa, they have their unique name. That is the Bokete, the Bole, Boko, Boka, and then the Bote, the rest. That is the moment they mention it, it is more of Nungwa than any other part of the Gan State, right?
Can you also find certain Gamashi names in other tribes?
Gamashi names in other tribes. My personal observation is that there are names from other tribes in Gamashi names. That is my personal observation. For example, if you go to Otublohun, Otobia has its roots in Akan. So we can say it is an Akan name that has now got established among the Ga names, because Bia in Akan is you. Bia in Ga does not mean anything. It means part of a name, Oto Bia. But we can say in Akan that Oto Bia is female Oto, because the Bia signifies. So we have these names that I think have come from other tribes into Ga.
Our distinctiveness as a people stems from our customs and tradition, and names form a very important part of it. Our compliance ensures the continuation of our heritage as we work to preserve the legacy of our forefathers and thus protect our uniqueness.